This is a Fox News alert because today is the big day, finally. We are only hours away from the first debate of the 2016 presidential campaign, and that is a live look inside the Quicken Loans Arena here in Cleveland, Ohio, where the stage is finally set. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bill Hemmer, bringing you America's Newsroom live in Cleveland today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Good morning, Bill.
Good
morning, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum. As Bill said, the stage is literally set right behind us. The podiums are waiting for the 17 candidates. All of those Republicans will get their moment in the spotlight tonight, trying to make their case to be the next president of the United States. So the primetime showdown, 9 o'clock, features those polling in the top 10 nationally. Now, Donald Trump is the front runner, so he will be front and center on that stage. Joining him, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, also former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, Dr. Ben Carson, and then Senators Ted Cruz out of Texas, Marco Rubio from Florida, Rand Paul from Kentucky. And then you have Governors Chris Christie out of New Jersey and John Kasich out of the Buckeye State. That's right. And in the earlier debate at 5 Eastern, the lineup looks like this. Former Texas Governor Rick Perry, former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, and former governors George Pataki of New York and Jim Gilmore, the last one into the race here, from Virginia. So there are 17. Keep track. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen is also live in Cleveland. He begins our coverage today. And James, the kickoff only hours away. We already have our certified first smackdown of debate day. So tell us what's going on with whom and why.
Bill, good morning. Yes, Donald Trump is discovering, as many have before him, that with the crown of front runner comes a very large target on your back. The real estate mogul and reality TV star is the subject of a blistering Wall Street Journal column by Karl Rove, the Fox News contributor and former advisor to George W. Bush, whose brother Jeb Bush will be flanking Trump on stage tonight. Rove notes Trump's former registration as a Democrat, his financial donations to Hillary Clinton and to the 2006 campaign committee that made Nancy Pelosi House Speaker, and various Trump statements over the years, including to Larry King in 1999, quote, "I'm quite liberal and getting much more liberal on health care." To Meet the Press in 1999, quote, "I'm very pro-choice." And to CNN in 2004, quote, "It just seems that the economy does better under Democrats."
My theme, and the whole theme of my campaign, is to make America great again. And I've loved this country, and I'm seeing our country go into the ground. It's going in such a horrible direction. We're not going to have between no borders, between horrible trade deals, between weakened military.
And Trump says he will keep things high-minded tonight unless and until he is attacked by any of his fellow Republicans, in which case he says he will, quote, hit them harder, Bill.
Wow, interesting there. Now in the 5 o'clock debate, James, similar challenges, similar opportunities to those facing the contenders with better polling numbers.
That's true, and we must remind our viewers that in the 5 p.m. debate we will see participating some very accomplished figures, including a sitting governor, a sitting senator, and the only woman in the crowded GOP field. For these 7 Republican contenders, the goal is to make a positive first impression and to raise the one factor that at this early stage contributes most significantly to polling success.
And right now it's all about name ID, and you have a reality show host, a brother and son of 2 presidents. If LeBron James was running, he would be in that debate instead of Governor Kasich, the governor of Ohio. So I will distinguish myself by my record, what I was able to do as governor of New York.
And a short while from now, we'll see the candidates conducting their walkthroughs of the venue, the Quicken Loans Arena here in Cleveland, much like prize fighters casing the ring prior to the bout. Bill.
You got it. And LeBron James, too. Thank you. James Rosen outside today in Cleveland.
You bet.
So all this preparation coming down to what could be some make or break moments for any one of these candidates tonight on this stage. Let's bring in Byron York, chief political correspondent for the Washington Examiner and a Fox News contributor. Of course, Byron, great to see you here in Cleveland.
Morning.
Good morning to you. We just heard James talking about this editorial by Karl Rove. Donald Trump is about to get some pretty tough questions.
He is. The biggest question of this debate has to be, what is Trump going to do? Is he going to be aggressive? Is he going to be confrontational? Is he going to be kind of surprisingly quiet? I mean, he is going to set the tone for this debate. Will he abide by time limits? You know, he's not really very good on time limits when he's on the stump. So the question of the debate, the tone of the debate, is going to be set by what Trump does.
If you don't pay attention to time limits, the audience sees that.
Yes.
And they see whether or not they like it. Jeb Bush is to his immediate left.
Yeah.
What does he do? Is he aggressive or not?
The big question is whether he is aggressive. There was a scene a few days ago when both Jeb Bush, Hillary Clinton addressed the Urban League in Fort Lauderdale. Hillary goes first, and in her speech, she very specifically hits Jeb Bush, attacks him quite strongly. Jeb Bush comes up, doesn't say a word, doesn't answer it, doesn't even acknowledge that she has just attacked him in front of this audience. That disappointed a lot of conservatives who want to see more fight in Jeb Bush. So I think the question is tonight, how aggressive is he going to be when he comes out?
Yeah, that was always a big question about Mitt Romney, because people felt that he didn't punch back when he was punched, and that turned out to not be a great strategy for Romney. Let's talk a little bit about some of the candidates that we're going to hear from at 5 p.m. tonight when Bill and I are questioning them. One that I think a lot of people will be watching closely, and maybe somebody that some are surprised has not emerged a little bit more in the polls, is Carly Fiorina.
Yeah, she's the one I'm going to be watching because she has really gotten very good reactions from audiences in Iowa, New Hampshire. Everywhere she goes, people really like her. She has honed a stump speech that is focused, that is concise, and it really hits all of the points in the shortest amount of time possible. She's very effective, but none of that has actually translated into rising national poll ratings, which is why she's in the earlier debate as opposed to prime time. Well, it takes a while for people to get to know somebody. It is still relatively early, and sort of on the Rick Santorum model, if you just travel around Iowa and keep traveling around, people will get to know you.
There are a lot of people writing about the 5 o'clock debate suggesting one person will emerge.
Yeah.
And advance and build their campaign from this stage tonight. Do you think it's that way?
I think yes, and I think Carly Fiorina is the person with the best chance to do it. There are a lot of appealing candidates. You know, Lindsey Graham sometimes gives speeches that are half comedy routine and half policy lessons. There are some very appealing presences in this 5 o'clock debate, but Fiorina has really impressed people with her ability to focus on the issues and present a very concise picture of what she wants to do in a short period of time. That is tailor-made for a debate like this.
You know, in terms of sort of the middle of the top 10 group, when you look at Rubio, you look at Cruz, you look at Christie, people who emerged fairly strongly earlier on, they've gotten lost in the wash with Donald Trump a little bit. So it's a big opportunity for them.
It's an opportunity, but they don't see it as a must-do situation. They don't feel like they have to hit it out of the park tonight. I've run into several of their staffers around Cleveland, and a lot of them are actually kind of hoping for a boring debate. I don't think they're going to get what they hope for, but they
What does that mean? Survive in advance?
That means no big fights. It's just too risky for them. No gaffes, no big embarrassments. They want to come out. They want to make their case to the American people. They want to say why they're better than the other guys. But for them, boring is better because they want to get past this and get on with the campaign.
All right. Byron, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the day, okay?
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see you around the cube.
Thank you, Byron.
Thanks, Byron.
This is not the first time presidential contenders have faced off here in Ohio, the key battleground state holding 3 presidential or vice presidential debates since 1960. That is when televised debates began. Memorable moments include 1980 when President Jimmy Carter went head-to-head with then former governor of California, Ronald Reagan. In 2004, Vice President Dick Cheney took on Democratic vice presidential candidate John Edwards. In 2008, Senator Barack Obama shared the stage with then Senator Hillary Clinton before his eventual victory that time. All of these debates taking place right here in the city of Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, Ohio is often considered a key state, of course, to win the presidential election. Not only is it a swing state, but as it turns out, whoever takes the Buckeye State is a pretty good predictor of an election winner, and they have been on a winning streak since 1964, when Lyndon Johnson took the race. Still, despite voting against the grain twice since 1912, the state that picks the winning presidential candidate most often, get this, New Mexico, getting it right 92% of the time. Nevada is also up there. The least predictive state is Alabama.
I
love this kind of trivia.
Right.
That's fascinating.
Of course, you will hear from all the candidates later today here on Fox and only on Fox. Two of the contenders, Rand Paul and Rick Santorum, join us live today for a preview. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul live here in a few moments. We'll talk to him on that. And then Rick Santorum's turn next hour live here on America's Newsroom.
Yeah, we're looking forward to all of that. And today, did we mention? Today is the big debate vote, and we want you to be part of that debate. We teamed up with Facebook to bring you the first Republican debates of the 2016 race live from Cleveland, Ohio, coverage starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. But don't forget to download the Fox News Election HQ 2016 app for iPhone or Android. You can score the candidates while you watch the debates live, which is a pretty cool app. And, you know, a lot of people are having viewing parties.
Yes.
We know who you are out there, and we want you to get that app and put it on your phone, and then you can all score it and see what you think.
And for our part, I'm really excited looking at 5 o'clock to see how we kick off the first real big event of this campaign season. And as we mentioned earlier, they come back in a year for the Republican convention in this town. And we were up late last night. We've been gaming this out for some time, and so we think it'll be a very interesting moment.
We think it will.
For many.
We think it will.
Bright lights on the big stage, the scene right here at Quicken Loans for the first debate. How are the candidates getting ready? How do they drill? How do they train? Or do they? Senator Rand Paul, in his first presidential run, joins us here on what he is doing to make his moment count in Ohio.
And the GOP candidates in the 5 p.m. debate might not be leading the pack, but nobody is taking these 7 lightly. Could someone in that group turn out to be the one who steals the show?